mixer in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome to the On Your Left podcast, brought to you by Trails of Mississippi, your ultimate guide to the thrilling world of trail running, hiking, and mountain biking. Join your host, Matt Clem, as we explore breathtaking trails, conquer challenging peaks, and dive into the adventures that await in the great outdoors. Get ready to lace up, gear up, and get inspired. Adventure is just around the corner. On your left.
All right, there I am. We're here, episode 14, ladies and gentlemen. We're actually starting. Man, it's exactly on time. I thought we'd start a little earlier, but damn it, Daniel, I got caught again in the line in the Madison Cups. I got caught again. I mean, I thought I was going to be early. It's something, and we've got Tim and Caroline Irvine with us today. They've zoomed in. No one has accused now Daniel's super professional. If it wasn't for Daniel, this would be a total shit show. But this show, On Your Left, has never been accused of being the most professional show in the world. But there was a mix-up, so I've got Tim and Caroline. They're on the show today, and I had texted both of them saying, "Hey guys, make sure y'all are there about 30 minutes early, and and all this stuff, and what size shirts do y'all want, and this that." They're like, "Hey, are we not zooming in? We're in South Mississippi." I'm like, well, totally my mix up. So, and you guys were on Laurel, about to go to church, and then so anyway, but apparently Tim has a studio at the house, so the quality that you guys are going to be listening to and watching today is probably, if every bit as good as what you normally would get if they were just coming in studio, and they are in the comforts of their own home, which is good. So anyway, I've got Tim and Caroline Irvine, both founders and I guess owners of Time2Run. And what I know about Time2Run is that Tim's been a long time runner. Originally it started out as a timing company for 5Ks, correct? Yeah. But as of the last several years, you guys have dived off into trail running events, which we'll talk about some upcoming events. But let's introduce you guys, obviously, Tim and Caroline Irvine. Let's put y'all on camera. Hey, welcome y'all. I've known Caroline for a long time.
Yeah.
Caroline, do you want to discuss how we know each other?
Yeah, a very long time ago.
Am I going to have to use this at all?
No, you're not going to.
Okay.
Caroline, do you want me to do it?
You could do it.
Daniel, yeah. I am a world champion foosball player.
Okay.
I played foosball for about 20 years.
What?
I did.
You're such a nerd.
You did.
I
was serious too.
No, seriously, I would say I wasted time, but I didn't, because I actually met my wife through playing foosball.
Okay.
And I met Caroline too. Caroline, I guess your ex-husband was a football player back in the day.
Yep.
And Caroline played foosball too.
Okay.
And so we know each other from playing foosball. And such a small world, my life changed, and obviously her life changed as well. And so we both got into running. And then we kind of reconnected, and then I met Tim, obviously. So yeah, and that's been, how long have y'all been married? And when did y'all start Time2Run? Let's talk about all that.
That's Tim.
Time2Run originally started in 2010. I timed the first race in September of 2010 as part of the Bonita Running Club. We decided as a club we wanted to put a race on, and so I took it upon myself to learn some software to be able to do that. And later that fall, we put on the first race. And, as a club, that was kind of going to be the end of it. Well, the thing is back then in 2010, there weren't a whole lot of race timers around. You had Caleb Hammonds over in Jackson with Mississippi Race Timing, and you had Best Times out of Memphis. And, there just weren't a whole lot of race timers around. Meridian didn't have one at the time. So as soon as word got out that somebody knew how to do that, my phone started ringing. And so that first year, I ended up timing 2 more races, I think in October and December. The next year, I think I did 11 races, and the following year did 22. But in 2012 is I think when you came on and started helping. We ended up meeting Caroline at a race we were timing, or I did, and we kind of became friends, and then later on more. And in 2013, she started basically kind of helping me full time with all the races. And at first, I called it Tim Irvine Race Timing because I just really wanted to give it a name. And, when it looked like this was going to be something that I did a little longer term, I didn't really want it to be known about me. I wanted it to kind of have its own identity. So that's when Time2Run came up. And the whole idea behind Time2Run is this 2 people. We go to races all the time where there's like an army of folks, and they do a fantastic job, but we feel like we do a fantastic job with just 2 people. We've kind of got it down to a science now, and we really feel very confident in what we do.
So you guys actually live in Meridian?
Yes,
we do.
Okay. You had mentioned that you were in Laurel, but Caroline,
yeah, my daughter lives there.
Yeah, our daughter lives in Laurel.
Yeah. Well, okay. So
yeah,
you got
Cassidy and our grandbabies and Braxton,
her husband.
Yeah, and they, we go down and go to church with them every Sunday that we can. We'll go to church with them and then spend the afternoon with them, with the grandbabies.
Tim, I say used to, but you still actively run pretty good bit. I think I remember at one time you were pretty fast. You were pretty good road runner.
That mostly back in the 80s and 90s was kind of my time, and I do still run, but it's not what it was. But I really enjoy it just the same now. I ran a little race on Friday night here in Meridian, the Moonlight Run. I didn't have a good run. I didn't run what I felt like I can run right now, but I still had a great time just being out there. And for me, it's such a turnabout from the way it was in the 90s. Whenever I was a more serious runner, I was much less social. It was more business back then for me. And now I really enjoy the interactions a lot more.
So you guys are based out of Meridian, and you guys are running races. How many races right now would you say you're running on average per year? You had said it had gotten up to 22 races like the second or third year.
Oh yeah.
How many are y'all doing now?
We hit 45 or close to 45, I think was the busiest year we had. I think right now we're hovering somewhere around 27 to 32 on any given year. We could do a lot more. We turn a lot of races down just simply because both of our parents, both of our mothers are in the mid 80s, and we want to be able. We don't want to put ourselves in a position where we're going to be double booked for a race one weekend, and then something happens, and that would be a total disaster. So,
well, your grandparents too. Yeah.
And we're grandparents too. Yeah.
Really, every other weekend is kind of y'all's what y'all are basically doing it, or a couple times a month.
Yeah, we try to see the grandbabies at least twice a month, every other weekend if we can. Sometimes Cassidy will bring the grandbabies up from Laurel. She'll come to Meridian because she lived here for about 5 years, and so she'll bring them up and hang with us, for the day, or she still has a lot of friends here too.
So the races that you guys are putting on, how many? We talked about the trail running races that you guys have gotten involved in, but as far as races, how many trail races, how many road races, how many trail, and then what's the area that you guys are covering?
All over.
Yeah, we'll go just about anywhere. I mean, I've timed into Louisiana, as far as Crowley, Louisiana, down by Lake Charles and Lafayette.
Over in Alabama, we've gone as far as
Monroeville, which is north of Pensacola.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll pretty much go anywhere. We just, if the call comes. The thing is with race timing is a service, and that's how I've always looked at it. I try so hard not to let it be a job because we want to still enjoy it. We love being around the runners and the races. So, I mean, filling up our weekends every single weekend with a race, we could do that, but we don't want to do that. We still enjoy it. In fact, I reached out to Mike over at Mississippi Race Timing just to verify a date yesterday with a race, the Over the River Run, which is coming up in October. I'm going to go run that. We'll be, I've got a goal to run 10 races this year since I started back last October. So I'm still on track to do that. And I want to fit that one in because I actually won that race back in 2011.
Yeah.
That was a big race for us that year. But I wanted to go run it again because we happened to be off that weekend, and I wanted to verify that was the weekend, and he said it was. So I'll be going to Vicksburg on the 11th.
Yeah, we had a race that rescheduled. They were going to be on that weekend, but then they end up postponing it and rescheduled for another date. So that weekend just popped up to be open. So Tim took advantage, and so he's going to go run that race.
Yeah, and in the fall and spring, that's the only way I get to run a race is if we don't have a race to time.
Right.
How many? Okay, so mainly most of the races are 5K road races, correct?
Yes.
Which is awesome. I have the 5Ks. How are 5Ks doing in general? Are they? Was there kind of a? Have they fallen off a little bit as far as the participation? Or I remember back in the day, Tim. You remember this? I mean, man, there was races all the time.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere. Are there not as many now, or am I just not paying as much attention?
They're slowing down. I know the participation is slowing down, and they're more signing up closer to race day or on race day than beforehand. And that makes it a struggle for a lot of these races because they have deadlines on t-shirts, to order them, or medals, if they're providing that. And it's hard to do that when people aren't signing up early, and they tend to sign up either the week of or race day morning. But they're starting to slow down in participation. We notice that a lot of low participation is out there, and there's too many of them on the same day, and people can't decide which direction they want to go and sign up for them. But we just noticed that they were all low turnouts, and I don't know if that's just was something that's just coming up and it's going to dip down and then back, skyrocket up next year. But we never know from year to year. It's hard to gauge.
Yeah, I just remember a lot of 5Ks, running them all the time, and then I guess now people have kind of gotten to where they're running longer distances, or they're running on trail, or they're doing other things. I think there's been also other group activities, because for a long time, you go run a 5K, you're in a tribe, you're a big group of people, everybody's suffering together, and now there's just other outlets for people to. We talked about this on another show. Was just there's so many other ways that people can get together in community and exercise, whether it's other disciplines of, whether it's mountain biking or trail running or CrossFit or, other stuff like that. So, but yeah, 5Ks are great. And I think, especially now because I can remember when we used to go run these races, it was a log jam at the end because there was no race time. There was no chip timing. And now technology has gotten so much better, with that. So
it has. And we've seen the evolution. I mean, we see in real time evolution of particular athletes' journeys through, you talk about they start off running 5Ks, and that's their ultimate goal in the beginning, or a 10K. And then eventually they'll bite off a half marathon, maybe even a full marathon. And then the next thing you know, they might do a triathlon, and then they're doing trail races. It truly is. It's an evolution that we've watched so many runners go through this, on any particular year, we may see the same athlete at just about every one of our races. Right. And then the next year, we may not see them at all, because they've kind of graduated onto different things that they want to do. And so we see this all the time. I was commenting with Evan Halford who's from Union, not far from here, just Friday night. He won the Moonlight race here in Meridian. And I said, Evan, you never come see us anymore. But the truth is Evan's competition level here in the Meridian area is just non-existent right now. He has to go out of town to find faster people to race. And I totally get that.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, I've run a lot of, I've kind of graduated onto longer distances and different stuff. And I tell you, doing a 5K just scares me. I just, oh man. I mean, I'm telling you, I would rather go run a marathon. Well, I don't know. Marathons are terrible too. Maybe just a long run, that is a little bit more chill than just doing a 5K. But, but it's different. So you guys also, when you guys started running trail races back, what I say,
2018.
Was it 7 years? I think I ran the first Great Scorpion. Was that the first one that you guys?
Yeah, it was in 2018.
Yeah. We're coming up on 9 years.
Really?
Yeah. 9 years in January.
Well,
it's crazy.
Look, and I had talked to Helen not too long ago, Helen, the president of Mutts, and we had the discussion about how trail races have grown, and a lot of it is because of people like you and what y'all are doing, and putting on these events is so great, and there's a lot of what you would call dirt bag races. Daniel, a lot of trail runs are very low budget, and people just kind of show up and okay, go that way and follow the flags and come back, and we might have a beer for you, maybe not. But Caroline and Tim, you guys really put forth a great effort to put on really good events.
Thank you.
There's nothing wrong with the dirt bag event. I think there's a time and a place for all of those. And that's part of the appeal for trail running. But what you guys have done, especially with the Great Scorpion, has been great. I'll be honest, I have not run the other ones. I'm planning on doing that this year. So with that being said, tell us a little bit about the trail runs that you guys have started to put on.
Oh gosh. All right. So Scorpion came about a long time ago. We talked about putting on a trail run here in Meridian, Bonita Lakes. The park is absolutely beautiful. If you haven't ever been, you should just come out and look at it. It's the mountain bike trails. And so we got some help from a friend on mapping out a course. And so we got that course, and it was originally we first started it was April. That was the only time that we could put it on. I was still before I moved over here, I was still in the Jackson, Clinton area living. I was, worked at a CPA firm. So the only time that I could be available to even help was right after tax season. So that's when we put on the very first Great Scorpion. And it was in April, and it was hot.
That's not a good time of year for a CPA. I know.
No, but it was right after tax season. It was literally the week after that we decided to put it on. And it took a little while, too, to figure out a name for how we were going to come about. But we did a little bit of research on Bonita Lakes, and it turns out there are actually scorpions out there. And so we went out at night, right when it got dark, with UV lights, and they glow purple when you put the little lights on them. So we captured a few, put them in a bowl with some of their environment to have at Pack a Pickup so people could see. They're about 3 inches long. And that's how it came about. We end up changing Scorpion from April to January. There was some backlash through the ultra community down on the coast.
I remember
that our race interfered with their race.
I do remember that.
Even though it wasn't the same distance, we were just a 25K, 50K at that time. They were a 50K, 50 miler. Even though we were still 4 hours apart, there was still some backlash. So we said, you know what, we'll move it. And so we end up moving it to January.
Although, I'm petty. I might not have, but
I know. At the time,
no,
I was that way too. But
no.
we said, it would be fair,
But
and
props to you offered, yeah. I mean, that's cool.
we didn't want to interfere.
Yeah, we wanted to
So
be a good neighbor.
yeah, so
Sure.
we decided to move it, and that was the first weekend in January. And sometimes, depending on where the first falls, it'll either be the first or second week of January. So it's been that way for the last 7 years. So year one, was in April, and then from here on out was in January. So we're coming up on our 9th year, and it's grown. There's been times that we've been up over 350 people. And then there are times that we've been back down to 180, so it fluctuates, but it's stabilized, so we got a good even between 180 and 275 right now.
I think it's a pretty good time of year, just with the fact that it's not hot, obviously.
It's not too cold, but there have been years that it's been freezing.
Yeah.
Really cold.
I think it fits in pretty well with some of the Mutts events too, right? So I think
Yes.
Mutts
Oh,
does it that
definitely. And we're
February, right?
they always come over and support our events.
Yes.
They're just so awesome what they do. We're members of Mutts also,
Mhm.
by the way. We do everything we can to support them as well.
Sure.
Yes.
But yeah, they come over and set up a tent, and they bring the fun with them, and we love to have all the Mutts guys and gals out.
Mhm.
Okay, so the Great Scorpion takes place in January.
Right.
That's a 50K. I know that, and then you also have a 25K. And then is there a shorter distance than that? Is that correct?
Yes, a 12.5K. We
Okay.
added on the 12.5K once we moved it, just because we know that there are people out there who want to try it, and we don't want them to bite off too much. So say, hey, just run one lap. It's 12.5K. Try it out. You like it, come back next year and, go longer. So we have that option for newbies. You can try it out.
The idea to add that came about in the first year. We only had one DNF the first year, and it wasn't someone who wanted to DNF. He actually hurt his knee on the first loop, and then he finished, and he couldn't go a second loop, and we felt really bad about it. And the more we discussed it together and we talked about it, it was like, why don't we just add a single loop option and use it as an onboarding for a trail experience for someone who's never done a trail and may be afraid to try it. They come out and do the 12.5K, and then maybe graduate to the 25 and 50K as over the years. And so that was the original idea. I thought we'd get about 20 people, and that's our largest category now.
Yeah.
In both the
Yeah.
Ivy Trek and Scorpion, our largest category is the 12.5K, because there are so many people out there who want to run a trail race, but they can't do a 50 or a 25K, or at least they don't think they can. So they want to come get a taste of it. And they do that with the 12.5K. And then many of them do graduate up to the higher distances.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's a great location, I think. Being right there behind the mall, tucked in. You would never think there was something so nice tucked in behind right there. The location's great. The scenery's fantastic. Daniel, are you familiar with Bonita Lake? Really cool. Very cool.
Hey.
Yeah, it's very nice. So, all right. So what other trail races do we have? I know you got one coming up, and we're definitely going to pump that up for sure. But what are the other trail races that you guys spotlight?
So we have the Ivy Trek Ultra, which is coming up, and we're on this will be our fifth year this year, of Ivy Trek. It's at Clarko State Park, right outside of Quitman, Mississippi, and it is basically formatted identically to the Great Scorpion Trail Run in a different location. The elevation gain on this race is slightly lower than what is at Bonita Lakes. But because of where the hills fall, it feels a little more difficult. And I'm only saying that as somebody who's run both courses like in the same week.
Mhm.
There's something about this course that it's the way the hills, just where they fall in the miles. It feels a little more difficult, but it's not. And it's also a very scenic lake. The Clarko crew, Tony Fleming and his team at Clarko State Park, Tony's over the entire state park system now. So he's, has a lot to do with what's going on at Roosevelt and Paul B. Johnson and all the state parks right now. But they do such a phenomenal job with the trails. Like with Scorpion, I do just about all the trail work as far as blowing off the trails, marking them, and getting them ready to go. The city of Meridian helps me a lot. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to make it look like they don't do anything. They do a lot, but I have to do a lot too. In the case of Clarko does most of it. I just basically mark the trails and get them ready to go and flag them.
Close equipment.
Yes.
For us that are geographically deficient, where is that?
Oh, okay. So it is south of Meridian, between Meridian and Waynesboro, Mississippi. So if you jump on Highway 45 coming out of Meridian on the way to Waynesboro, you'll go right through Quitman. You'll pass by Clarko State Park.
It's about 25 miles south of Meridian.
Yeah, it's not bad
It's
at
not
all.
far.
And so those two races are kind of identical in formatting. The Circle of the Dragon, which is our latest, which will be our third year coming up, is just a different animal. It's not a 50K, 25K. It's basically a 12-hour endurance run as far as you can get.
Nice.
Started out as 64.4 miles to reach dragon level. And the first year, nobody reached it. And, we were patting ourselves on the back because we'd made a race that hard, and, taking that inspiration from Laz, of course.
Yeah.
So we felt pretty good about ourselves after that. Well, this year we had two guys finish, and one guy who he was the second guy to make it 14 loops this year, looked at his watch and said, I can make a 15th loop, and he did. So we're thinking about maybe turning the screw a little bit to make it a little harder. What's that?
Who were the two guys that finished?
Addison Hendricks and Jason Carr.
Okay.
Addison Hendricks was the first one to complete 14 loops and reach dragon level, and Jason Carr did right behind him. And then Jason Carr went for a 15th loop and made it under 12 hours.
Where does this race take place?
It also happens at Bonita Lakes, but it's not on the same route as the Scorpion Run. The gravel road around the big lake at Meridian is it's called the Jeep Trail, is what we all refer to it as. And it's 4.6 miles. And you're just continuously running that same loop. And it is there's about 2 hills out there that'll make you walk. Every time.
We did a long training run over there a few years ago, and I met up with all the guys like Brandon Maxwell and Joey and so all those guys from the Meridian area. We all met up, and we ended up running on that Jeep road and to add on some mileage. And I was like, ugh. I just remember, like, I was glad to get off the trail, the single track. But then we got on the Jeep road, and I was like, this isn't any better because it's kind of hilly, deceptively hilly. So, when does that race take place?
It's in May.
Second week of May.
Okay.
That's the only time we can fit it in. We didn't want to, again, interfere with any other races. And it just happens to always fall on Mother's Day weekend. So it's the Saturday before Mother's Day. But we just threw it right in there. And so that's where it is.
I think the 12-hour events are great. I know Mutz has had a lot of success with theirs, with Fond and Urban Ultra, and then with Clear Creek is and then also Big Butts, which is basically so they've the timed races are always fun. How many so that's the third year, and then the Ivy Trek is on its 5th year, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
So Ivy Trek's coming up. When is the date on this one?
It's September 27th, I believe.
September 27th.
September 27th.
And I think we do have did I send you a link to that, Daniel?
I think so.
Did you? No, I sent you a link.
Race?
Yeah. For Ivy Trek. I did shoot you a link. We could put it on the show notes.
You can find it on Ultrasign Up.
It's on Ultrasign Up, but you can go to time2run.net, and there it is, time2run.net, and it's right there on the front page. There's a link to it.
Oh, the Time to Run? Yeah.
Yeah.
I already posted that in the comments.
Oh, okay. So it is.
Yeah, and then you just click on the picture, and it takes you straight to Ultrasign Up. so you can register from there. But good thing is that they have campgrounds, and so you can do primitive camping. You can bring your camper. You can rent a cabin, and all the proceeds of the race go to the park for any renovations that they do. There's what am I trying to say? The kids' splash pad.
Yeah.
They fix that up. They're working on new renovating the cabins. So all the proceeds go back to them so they can, work on the park.
Yeah. So they're a benefactor for
Yeah.
the race. So, I mean, of course, we pay the gate fees for everybody who comes. And then after all is said and done, we take the proceeds and give it to the Friends of Clarko. The Friends of Clarko is a little helper group that formed who just loves the park. They want to see it thrive, and they volunteer their time to help clean up and just do a lot of projects around the park. So we give it to them, and then they take that money, and that's what they use it for.
Yeah, there's been several friends of mine that have run that race, and they love it. I mean, they absolutely love it. They're talking about doing it, and I think I've got it in the schedule. This is the 3rd week of September, correct?
No, it's the
No, it's the
last week of last Saturday in September.
Last Saturday. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm slated to do that. So what is okay, so it's the same 50K, 25K, and a 12K. Is that correct?
Yeah,
That's
12.5K. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so is it one big loop?
It is. It's a 12.5K loop. And so Tony and I kind of mapped it out together. Of course, he basically mapped it out. I was along for the ride. But the funny thing about that is the original course that he and I mapped out, we ended up kind of altering it because I ended up spraining my ankle so bad jumping a mud hole, and it was a big disaster. I couldn't even walk out of there. But that was the first year when we were mapping the thing out, and I was so embarrassed that it even happened. But he decided after seeing that happen to me that maybe we shouldn't go through there because we didn't want anybody getting hurt. And so he rerouted it. But I love the course. The course is just fantastic. And we're always talking about ways that we can improve that course. Because you don't really get on pavement like you do with the Circle of the Dragon. You'll get on pavement for a little bit. Just whenever the Jeep trail hits pavement, you'll run that pavement back to the boat landing before you get back on gravel again. But like with Ivy Trek, you don't really, there's just this one little smidge of a place where you're on pavement for about, I don't know, maybe 600 yards or something. And but he's always looking at ways that we can just make every step of this course 100% unique. And so we'll just keep improving that. He is a fantastic manager of the park. And in fact, the renovations that you see going on, at all the parks around the state is because of him. I mean, he is just.
Yeah, I've been suggested to reach out and try to get him on. Tom Miles. Do you remember Tom, Caroline?
I remember Tom. Yeah. He played
Okay, so he was a state representative
from Morton, right?
That's correct.
Yes.
And he's pretty involved, I think, with getting the Roosevelt project in motion. And yeah, so I've been suggested to reach out and try to get him on the show. So I think what they're doing is fantastic. With this particular one, Outside Equipment, and then also Roosevelt, which they had some smaller events there. I think the trail there is a lot shorter. There's not as much right now.
Yeah, I believe they're building more though to go with it. I believe that's what he told me, if I'm not mistaken, that they were adding on to the trail system at Roosevelt. So at some point, that's going to be a major trail system, I believe, in the state.
Man, how cool is that? I mean, there's just more opportunity for people to get outside and to. I think for a long time, the trails were very primitive, like hiking trails. Not a lot. I know, like we've done a lot of running on the Yakanukini, but it's all Natchez Trace, so there's not a lot we can do with that.
Right.
And then other trails have usually been developed and maintained by the mountain bike clubs. And and more specific for mountain biking. But now with different areas getting more involved with just more trails, it's opening up more opportunity for hiking and trail running. And then also too, more events like with what you guys are doing.
It is, and honestly, shared trails, the shared trail idea between mountain bikers and trail running and just hiking in general is it's really good that you have that when you have a trail system that's not really exclusive to one party because, like in the wintertime, I guess when we're getting ready for Scorpion, and I blow off the trails to get it ready for the Scorpion run, that benefits the mountain bikers too. And it also brings more people out to come hike those trails that don't want to hike them when there's pine straw and they can't see where they're putting their feet. But the whole reason I started doing it in the beginning, and trust me, I wouldn't do it if I didn't have to, but I have this fear that there's a lot of trip routes and, holes and stuff. I just don't want somebody to break an ankle or sprain an ankle so bad, they couldn't finish the race or hurt themselves in any way. So that fear of that happening was why I started blowing them off to begin with. And it just looks so much more inviting whenever you can kind of relax while you're running and not have to worry about where am I putting my feet, the entire time, because that can stress you out.
I'm so clumsy when we first started running trails. I was eating nonstop. I mean, I've gotten better over the years, but definitely I know what it's like to trip over some roots. So, all right. So we've got the Ivy Trek coming up. Again, everyone that's watching and listening, please go check it out. Go to Ultra Sign Up. You can sign up there or go to time2run.net and check out their other events as well. You guys got a lot of people signed up so far? I mean,
yeah, I mean, we're still a little bit more than a month out. So I expect we'll have a huge slew of folks come in the last 3 weeks, which we always do. Like Caroline was saying earlier, that is problematic for race directors and organizers to have to deal with. But that all started around COVID. When COVID hit, I don't know if you remember, Matt, but there were a lot of races that canceled when COVID hit. And a lot of people didn't get their money back, and it kind of left a bad taste in a lot of folks' mouth. Fortunately, that didn't apply to any of our races, but I'm connected to a lot of races through Timers Talk on Facebook. And wow, I mean, the stories I was reading, people were threatening to sue, and it was an ugly situation.
Did they freeze up?
They did freeze up.
Are we still live?
Yeah, we're still live.
You see Tim, he's just sitting there. He's got that look on his face. Guys, y'all are frozen.
Yeah, everything's good on our side.
Is it?
We're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, he was about to bring up really good points. Look at him. For those of you that are listening on Spotify, their Zoom just totally crashed, and they're just frozen. You want to put it on me so we're not staring at this?
No, I'm kind of mesmerized. I'm mesmerized.
What do they need to do? Do they need to
I'll kick them off and hopefully they text them to log back in.
Hold on, let me text him.
Well, text him and ask him what if they lost internet. They cut themselves off.
Did they? They're gonna hop back in.
Yeah. In the meantime, enjoy this music.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Wait, are they back on?
No, not yet.
Ugh. So I think I am going to sign up for Ivy Trek.
Are you really going to sign up for Ivy Trek?
I am. I think I am. I'm scheduled to run. Well, no, I'm doing Rebecca Mountain a couple weeks before then, which is a 50K in
Rebecca Mountain.
Yeah, it's on the Pinhoti Trail.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a 50K, but hold on a second. How are they doing?
Yeah, tell them it's the same login code.
They said not sure they're rebooting.
Uh,
Yeah, so I'm doing Rebecca Mountain as a training.
Here we come.
It or we. Are they coming
Sorry
up?
about that.
Look at there.
Sorry about that.
Your face was just frozen on there. I'm like, I forgot what the hell we were even talking about.
I don't know. It was about to be something good though. And
It was. He was.
We mentioned COVID, and then
about,
the phone. Then it went crazy.
yeah, we were
Yes.
talking about COVID. See, that's what you
the
get.
man
Yeah, I
trying
know.
to
That's
Yeah.
what I told
What
him.
it
Don't say that
is.
word.
That's what it is.
fake news out there.
That's
Fake news,
it.
yeah.
Facebook. I thought they had changed.
No, it wasn't Facebook.
We started criticizing COVID.
No, because you're still live on YouTube as well.
It's YouTube.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we can no longer do song of the week.
Yeah.
We can't do song
Yeah.
of the week.
They'll hit you with a copyright, and then
Well,
you
we
lose.
didn't think the show was big enough, so we were doing it, and sure enough, bam, we can
Yeah.
no longer song of the week. So anyway,
Hmm.
so people people don't want to sign up too early because they're afraid another pandemic's going to come and they can't get their money back.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's I mean, that's really kind of where it started at, where we started seeing it. And like a couple of years ago, we were doing this race here in Meridian called the Alley Cat run, 5K run, and that race the prior year had almost 700 people, and we were a week out, and they had only 300 people signed up. We had 350 people sign up in the final week before the race.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean, that is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is wild.
Yeah.
I was telling Daniel I'm signed up for Rebecca Mountain, which is a 50-mile 50K the first Saturday of September. But it's part of my training. My coach has me I'm not running the 50K. I have to power hike the 50K.
Yeah.
So I have to literally like walk it, and it's a 10-hour cutoff. So it's going to be challenging. I've got to take poles, and I got to put weight in my pack and everything. So I'll be out there doing that. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and talk to her about signing up for y'all's race for the 50K Ivy Track, because I know a lot of people are going. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of excited and want to come support y'all. So, do y'all have any plans to do anything else? Because you got 3 right now, and they're
Yeah.
very successful. There've been thoughts of doing anything else.
Well, we were asked to do another one out of
Look,
not in our area.
head. She's shaking her head. You're on camera, Caroline.
Yeah.
I know.
The timing right now is just not good for us
You
to
gotta
add
ask-
another race.
Where was it? Can I ask?
It was in North Mississippi.
Yeah.
Extremely North Mississippi.
Wait, where?
Almost to
Tishomingo?
Tennessee. So,
Tishomingo? Paul B.
Yeah.
Johnson?
yeah, Tishomingo.
Really?
Yeah.
So let me tell y'all, I have been doing some consulting work for an operation, and they opened up a business in Burnsville, which is in between Corinth and Iuka, and I'm actually, my Airbnb that I'm staying at is literally like 5 miles from Pickwick and like 2 or 3 miles from JP Coleman State Park and probably 10 miles from Tishomingo. It's beautiful up there. There's a lot
yeah.
of people, but there ain't nothing else up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's way up there.
Well, our kind of thoughts for not doing it was a little twofold. Number one, we don't need to add another thing right now. I mean, I feel like we've got a good healthy number of trail races, especially in this part of the state. It does appeal to me to go up to Tishomingo, but then there's the fact that trail races is kind of an all-in thing. And so like when you're going to travel that far to put one on, you better make sure you have everything with you. And I am notorious for forgetting something important
I'm always running back home.
every race day.
Tim's like, I need you to run back home. I forgot this.
It's something I do. I don't know why, but if we were all the way up in Tishomingo and I forgot something critical to the race, that would just be a disaster. So I don't know, maybe when I'm not juggling so many things, we might be able to fit that in. It does interest us. We just, right now is just not a good time.
I get it. I mean, grandparents. How old's a grandbaby anyway?
And grandbabies,
Year and a half.
yeah, they're twins.
They're twins.
Really?
Boy and girl.
Y'all's first?
Our first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn, and twins.
Yeah.
You know, my dad said the best thing about grandkids
What's that?
is that they go home.
Exactly.
Well, let's see. I can show you there.
It went black.
There you go.
There they are.
There they are right
Very
there.
nice, very nice. Well, yeah, y'all aren't going to Tishomingo anytime soon.
No.
But I will say this: look, thank y'all. Seriously, I mean, I know there's probably some value in it for y'all, and you know, you get certain things out of it, and that's great. But I think what you guys are doing for our sport, when I mean our sport, which for me is trail running, you know, you guys have really done a lot, and I think that I know a lot of times when you put on these races, it's a thankless job. People don't really understand what all's involved in it. But I just want to, you know, thank y'all publicly for what y'all are doing, helping grow the sport and doing it in such a professional way.
Well,
It's
thank you.
fantastic.
Thank you.
And it's just growing, you know, more and more people are running and doing all of that. And we just hope that it'll continue. And I really do hope your races continue to grow and then if somebody else wants to run a race in Tishomingo, I definitely do think something up north. There's a Tupelo race. One of the guys, he runs a lot of mutts races. I think it's a Tupelo shuffle, but north. Daniel, have you ever been to like Corinth or Iuka or any?
Yeah, I had a couple jobs in Iuka.
Bro, you can't get any further away.
I know.
I mean, you can't.
I
It
know.
is as far away as you can get.
Yes.
It's 3.5 hours from here, and there ain't no damn easy way to get there either. Because you got to get on that trace.
Mhm.
Ugh. How do y'all get there from where y'all are? You just hop on 45, I guess.
Yeah, 45 and go north.
You know, 45 is not terrible. You just go. Well, you come straight through Starkville, right, and then go
Yeah.
straight up
Yep.
to Corinth. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Not a lot of scenic routes. I mean, it's
No, but
There's
let me tell you, Pickwick's beautiful.
Yeah.
Pickwick's a really cool, and then you know it's interesting. But I'd never been up there before I started. We would drive through there to go to Mountain Mist, which is in Huntsville.
Yes.
I don't know if y'all have ever been to that race. That's a huge 50K.
Haven't been to it, but very familiar with it.
I think it's one of the bigger 50Ks on the east side of the Mississippi. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's a big 50K, and they get a lot of people, and it sells out real quick. It's very difficult. So
Yeah. I was
Anyway.
actually signed up for a smaller trail race in Huntsville earlier this year, but due to a former coworker who died, I had to scrap going to the race so that I could attend his funeral. But it was, you know, I'm going to get up to Huntsville at some point and run something, probably slow, but I'm going to get up there anyway.
All right. Well, Ivy Trek's coming up next month, just
Yes.
over a month. So please, for those that are watching and following us, sign up for that race. What's the volunteer situation? Are you guys good? You guys
Well, yeah, we're good on that because the Friends of Clarko, they come out and volunteer for the race, you know, because it benefits them. But their whole crew comes out and they volunteer for all things in the park anyway. But they come out and man the areas that needed to be manned, and they, I think, cook biscuits, and they're very friendly. They help hand out medals, and you know, they do a lot to help the race succeed. And so yeah, we're very thankful. So we don't really need volunteers for this race. It's
No.
really more for the Great Scorpion Trail Run
and circle.
and Circle of the Dragon.
got it. I guess on a personal level, are you guys doing? Tim, you said you're trying to do 10 races this year. Are y'all doing much running yourselves? Are you guys got anything, you know, planned?
Well,
It's just Tim that's running.
Yeah.
You're not running,
I
right?
gave that up a while back. I got in CrossFit and loved it so much I ended up hurting myself, and now I deal with pinched nerves and sciatic, and so it's very difficult for me to get back out there and do that. So as long as I'm still race timing and I'm around it,
Yeah.
I enjoy it just as much. But it's mainly Tim. He's the runner.
Yeah, and I made some changes, you know, because I'd been trying to re-jumpstart my running for several years and just really couldn't, I'd start back for about 4 months and just like overnight just quit. And I couldn't really understand why I kept doing that. So I finally just made some decisions to stop some things that I was doing, like, sodas and
Coffee.
Chocolate.
And
as many sweets
I'm
as
not
I
giving
can
up coffee.
prevent from eating. But but no,
hold on, wait.
Yeah. Trust me, nobody loves coffee more than I do. But I had this feeling that it's, for some reason, it was a downer for me to not want to go run. And I don't know why that is. And I'm not saying it's like that for real. It's just in my mind, that was part of the problem. So I just stopped it. I deprived myself of that and sodas, and I basically only drink water now, except for maybe a beer every now and then. But back in
That's the soda companies.
No, that's Folgers.
That's Folgers.
That's Folgers, dude.
Daniel, it started with, we can't do the damn song of the week anymore.
Nope.
This show is so gotten too damn big.
Folgers Coffee has their eyes on you, and they just cut that out. Could have been, you know what? It could have been a Cups.
Cups. They're
competitor.
They're pissed.
Yeah.
Cups is pissed because I'm talking about how bad the line is.
Oh yeah. Yep. That could have done it.
And now it's a damn conspiracy. That's what it is. He's just frozen there.
Yeah. Let's put the camera over on you again. I get so enthralled with this. This never happens. So it's
this is just turning.
This is exciting.
I think this has been a fantastic interview.
I think so too.
And I will wrap it up. We're not gonna. I hate that I can't tell them bye. Unless they're going to try to log back in. Do you have to shoot them another link?
No, it's a static link.
Well, let's wait a second.
The first time.
So we're also on somewhat of, we got 9 minutes.
Yeah, but
Sean and David are coming in.
Sean and David aren't coming till 5:30.
Are they? Okay. Sean Guy, shout out Sean Guy.
Yeah.
And Dave.
Yeah.
What's the name of their podcast?
Dave Talks Some More.
Dave Talks Some More.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
no, they've been with me for like 2 years, and every time it's been at 5:30. But for some reason, I always think that it's 5 o'clock.
Is that them?
Yeah.
I have no idea why it's doing that.
No,
I obviously have a problem.
Folgers Coffee.
Look, you start shit talking Coca-Cola.
Yep. Coca-Cola.
You mess with the man.
Folgers Coffee.
And Folgers. They're
cut
pissed.
that man's internet right now.
That's it.
Yep.
This show has gotten too big. It's damn song of the week.
Yep.
Going next.
Folgers Coffee is after you
Folgers,
guys.
they're pissed.
Yep. Coca-Cola.
I'm telling you, they're going to start.
The president's going to give us a call and say something.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, guys, look. Well, all right. So, Tim, I hope everything. I'm actually, I'm doing some figuring out myself I'm in the same boat. You know, I've got different things that I've signed up for, and I'm, trying to motivate myself and all of this. And as we get older, our running doesn't come as easy as it used to, especially if you lose a gear. Like, we're so used to having that gear, right? At one time, we were faster, and now we're not as fast. We're getting older, and it's harder to recover. And, we're trying to figure out what we're doing. So
it is. And I fight the injury bug constantly. I mean, it's my mind thinks I can still run what I used to, but my body clearly can't.
Well,
and
check this out. So Wednesday I had 3 miles at 15% on the treadmill. Felt great. No problems. It was hard. It was really hard. I don't know how many feet I climbed, but I did 3 miles, 15%. And then Thursday I had an easy 3 miles. So, but I had to do it on the treadmill. So I just did an easy 3 miles, felt great. Heart rate was low. I got done. I stepped backwards off the treadmill, and I tweaked my back. My back.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I was scheduled to run a long run on Friday. Hell, I'm supposed to run tonight. I'm going to try to go run tonight, but it's just been brutal. And that's just one of these things. It's like, what's that about? So anyway, I think as we just get older, we have to kind of, but I'm not going to give up. I'm just not going to stop, but I'm trying to do it as responsibly as I can. So, But anyway, thank y'all for coming on. And again, everyone that's watching and listening, please go to time2run.net or go to Ultra Sign Up. Check out the Ivy Trek trail race down in Quitman. Guys, thank y'all for coming on. And also too, before January, we're going to get y'all back on for the Great Scorpion for sure. So
okay. And maybe this time we can come to the studio.
Yes.
We'll do that. So for sure. And again, but seriously, thank y'all so much. And thank y'all for everything that y'all have been doing. Cool. All right. Thanks, guys.
They froze up again.
Did they really? Lord. All right. Later, guys.